Simply grudge rejected. तो ऐसी भक्त भक्त स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय कृष्ण पाद और हमसे बड़ी ग्रेजुएट भक्ति से सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाराज की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासुदेव गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपाल गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की नागद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की Tulsi Devi ki, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki,
Yeah.
Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki, Rantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Gaur ki. All devotees, all devotees, all glories, all glories, Lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki. English translation. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only by which to attain pure devotion. God, under his lotus feet, great awe and reverence. His grace will cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words of the God. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all the plans. He opens my darkened eyes, and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prayer emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures give him his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy. The friend of the poor, the glory master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. And fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter in those. Jai! Thank you for coming. This is part of our program. We welcome in our Zoom audience. Today's Srimad Bhagavatam class will be given by the first Kaivalya Prabhu. Great to we saw you last Sunday. You gave a nice class. It's great to have you back here in Philadelphia after a long travel. And it's good for you. Happy that you're here with us on Saturday morning. Ask the devotees if we can move through this week. That way we can all be together. Okay. Good.
बोला जाता था कुछ समय कोशिश तो ठीक है ना लंच को जा रहा हूँ
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Yamuna Tira गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी
गोपी जाना वल्लभ वरदारी सुदानंदना ब्रज जन रंजना जमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजा चक्रचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरापुरी वृंदावन ब्रज भूमि धाम की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्यामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे।
What verse is it?
It's 273. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यास ततो जाय मुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी। Hare Krishna. So today we are reading Canto 2, Chapter 7 and verse number 3. So this chapter is about the scheduled incarnation of Lord Krishna, and Sukadeva Goswami describing one after other all these the different incarnations. So we have already discussed about the Varaha Avatar and also Suyagna. And now we are reading today about the Kardamani. So I will recite it and then you please recite after that. So we will go one line by line. Jagye cha kardamagrahe dvijabdeva स्त्रीभिः समं नवभिर् आत्मगतिं स्वमात्रे ऊचे ययात्मशमलं गुणसङ्गपङ्गम् अस्मिन् वधूय कपिलश गतिं प्रपेदे यज्ञे च कर्दभगृहे द्विजदेवहूत्याम् स्त्रीभिः समं नवभिर् आत्मगतिं स्वमात्रे ऊचे ययात्मशमलं गुणसङ्गपङ्कम् अस्मिन् वधूय कपिलस्य गतिं प्रपेदे. Please recite. Anybody wants to recite? Jagge chakardam grahe dvij devahutya. स्त्रीभिः समं नवभिर आत्मगतेन स्वमात्रे. ऊचे ययात्मशमलं गुणसङ्गपङ्कम् अस्मिन् वधूय कपिलस्य गतिं प्रपेदे. यज्ञे च कर्दवग्रहे द्विजदेवहत्या. स्त्रीभिः समं नवभिः आत्मगतेन स्वमात्रे. ऊचे ययात्मशमलं गुणसङ्गपङ्कम् अस्मिन् विधूय कपलस्य गतिं प्रपेदे. जग्ने च कर्तव्यग्रहे द्विजदेवहत्या. स्त्रीभिः समं नवभिः आत्मगतिं स्वमात्रे. ऊचे ययात्मशमलं गुणसङ्गपङ्कम् अस्मिन् विधूय गतिं प्रपेदे. यज्ञे च कर्दं ग्रहे द्विजदेवहत्या. स्त्रीभिः समं नवभिरात्मगतेन स्वमात्रे. उच्चे ययात्मशमलं गुणसङ्गपङ्कम् अस्मिन् विधूय कपिलस्य गतिं प्रपेदे. So we will do word by word. Jagye took birth. Cha also. Kardama, the Prajapati names Kardam. Grahe, in the house of. Dvija, O Brahman. Devahutyam, in the womb of Devahuti. Istribihi, by women. Samam, accompanied by. Navabhi, by 9. Atmagatim, spiritual realization. Swamatre, unto his own mother. Uche, uttered. Yaya, by which. Atma Shamalam, covering of spiritual soul, spirit soul. Gunasanga, associated with mode of nature. Pankam, mud. Asmin, this very life. Viduya, being washed off. Kapilasya, of Lord Kapil. Gatim, liberation. Prapede, achieved. So I will read the translation and purport. The translation is and the purport are little longer. So what we will do, we will go on explaining also at the same time. So we need not to go again. So this shloka actually is very nice, describing about Kapila Dev. Various incarnations of the Lord are being described in this chapter. And from text number 1 to 39, there are all Leela avatars, Guna avatars, Manvanantar. There are so many different kind of avatars Lord Krishna takes, comes different times in this world to claim the Jiva souls to the spiritual world, because he loves us so much and he comes here, he gives us instructions, how we can come back to him. And he really seriously wants us. So it's not the Krishna, it's us, who are really not going there. Krishna all the time wants, and he descends. Sometimes he comes in the Avesh avatar, sometimes he comes in with the Vibhuti of the Lord, and all the time the purpose is the same, he descends to take us there. So in our Vara avatar, in the verse number 1, we saw that Vara Dev came because Hiranyaksh took the earth planet in the Garbhodak ocean. So from there, he came in the form of pig, actually Lord Varaha came from the nose of Brahmaji. And then suddenly he jumped in that Garbhodak ocean. And when with the force, when he jumped in the ocean, all the water actually splashed all over the 3 worlds. So much water came in. All the demigods and everybody actually looking for the drop of water, which came out. So it was so auspicious water actually from the Lord Varadev. And he pierced the demon Hiranyaksha with his tusk and killed him, and then brought the earth back. And second incarnation, we read about the Suyagna. Suyagna was Suyagna came from the father and mother were Ruchi and Akuti. Akuti was sister of the sister of Devahuti. Devahuti, Prasuti, and Akuti. These 3 were sisters. They were daughter of Swayambhu Manu. So these 3 daughters were there, and who was married with the Kardamuni was the youngest one, Devahuti. And today we are reading about the Lord Kapila. Lord Kapila was the son of Kardamuni and Devahuti. And he spoke the science of self-realization. He spoke the Sankhya philosophy actually, and realization. And he actually taught the realization to his mother, and she got liberation in this very lifetime. So that was, and Kapil's philosophy is very famous. Actually, it's not impersonal philosophy. It's a great philosophy actually, and he all spoke about Lord Krishna. So we will talk a little bit about Kapil Muni. So Swayambhu Manu was the son of Lord Brahma, and he was the emperor of the whole world. And his wife was Satrupa, and they had 3 daughters, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devhuti. And then now Kardamuni was a great saint, great sage, and he was living in the forest. He had no possessions, nothing, no house, not even hut, He was living all in jungle under the tree. So Kardamuni was, as I said, he was a great saint, but he had desire to get married. So it's not like regular desire like people have now in the Kali Yuga. It was good desire, because actually it was arranged by the Lord himself, because Supreme Lord wanted to come in the form of Lord Kapila. He wanted to incarnate in the form of Kapila and give the Sankhya philosophy. So Lord wanted to come. So who can be his father? His father should be actually a great person, great Muni. So that's why he gave her that kind of intelligence or that kind of buddhi. So actually he So when Karda Muni actually desired that, Krishna fulfilled that desire. Krishna gave him a dream in the night time and told that tomorrow the great king Swayambhu Manu are coming to your hermitage along with his wife Satrupa and his daughter Devahuti. So you get married with her, and then it will be great for you. And so when they came in the next day, Swayambhu Manu and Satrupa, then they told their desire, that we have a young daughter, Satru Devahuti, so you please marry her. And he immediately accepted that. And after that, Swayambhu Muni and Satrupa left. But then he had no house or anything, And Devahuti was a princess. So where she will live, it was very hard. But whatever, Karda Muni, immediately after marriage, he even forgot that he just got married, He went in meditation again. And she thought, what I'm going to do now, but she was a good wife. So she had no clothes or anything with her, and nothing, she just came like that. So she was wearing the tree bark and eating, whatever fruits and vegetables she can get around, but she was initiating. She was not eating properly, not taking care of body. Her hairs were matted. And after long, deep meditation, I do not know how long it was, how many days or how many months, but then when Karda Muni opened his eyes, then he saw that, oh my God, my wife is so emaciated now, and I've totally forgot about her. So she said that it's not good for her like that. So then immediately she thought that I should give her some comfort. Her hair were so matted and her whole body, was so much thin. There was no fat at all, all these little meat, and just the bones you can see, that thin. So by his meditation, Karda Muni has the mystic powers, but he was not using that for him, but for his wife, It was arranged also by the Lord, because Lord wanted to come in the womb of Devahuti. So he had to do that. So then he made a big plane, like which can fly in the sky and go to anywhere they want. So he made a big palatial thing which can fly, and thousands and thousands of servants and all the water fountains and all the facilities were there in that plane. And then he asked his wife, where you want to go? And she said, I want to go to upper planets, the upper planetary system, So he said, okay, let us go. So the plane there was no pilot or anything, but by your desire, the plane can go. So they were actually going in the upper planetary systems, Sargalok, Maharalok, all the Siddhalok and all those loks, up to the Brahmalok. So they were flying in the sky, and meanwhile, they had the birth of Kapiladev and 9 sisters. He had 9 sisters, and Kapildev was born. So that Kapildev actually taught so much philosophy to his mother, and also he gave that philosophy to all of us actually. So we can also learn. So Kapildev philosophy, people say that the philosophy, there are so many different philosophies in the world, like there is Purva Mimamsa theory, then Karma Mimamsa, then Nyaya philosophy, then Vaishashika philosophy, Sankhya philosophy, Yoga philosophy, and Uttar Mimamsa. So these are the 6 different philosophies. And Kapil Dev's philosophy was Sankhya philosophy, but from his description, what he described in all the literature, all the instructions were about the pure devotional service. And that's why Prabhupada, all those instructions, Prabhupada wrote separate book. All the instructions are described in the 3rd canto, in the 8 different chapters, from 25 to 32 in the 3rd canto. So 8 chapters are totally about the instructions of what Kapil Muni gave it to his mother. So that's long. Then Prabhupada also compiled them in a book form, known as instructions of Kapil Dev, son of Devahuti, because there is another impostor, Kapil Dev also. So we have to be careful that it's not that Kapil Dev, it's just Kapil Dev who is son of Devahuti. So Sri Prabhupada pointed out that there are many different processes. Few prominents are performing sacrifice, performing meditation, performing Ashtanga yoga, performing austerity. Whatever process may be the goal in understanding Krishna consciousness, similarly, there are different branches of philosophy. But when we go through it, gradually leads to Krishna consciousness. So all these different philosophies actually ultimately will lead to, but it's a different way the people described. But ultimately, if we think, it will lead us to the Krishna consciousness, and then we can perfect our Krishna consciousness and we can get liberated. So this is the purpose of these different philosophies, and the philosophy of Kapil Dev, who was the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So in Kapil Dev's mother Devahuti actually went to Kapil. There is planet of Kapil Dev in the Vaikuntha planets. There are thousands and thousands planets for each incarnation. There is different planets, and Lord took so many incarnations. Like it's described as waves in the river. There are how many waves are there? Nobody can count. So many incarnations Lord takes, and all incarnations has their own planet in the spiritual sky. So in the Vaikuntha planets, there are so many, all these planets, and this covered like an envelope, all around the Earth planet. There is no boundary that where the planet starts, spiritual body starts and where the material world is there. There is no boundary in between, but it's all around us. So we cannot say that it may be this way or that way. Anyway, it may be. It's not like on the top of us. It's not like that. It may be anywhere. So Lord, when appeared as Kapil incarnation, being son of Prajapati, Brahman Kardab, and his wife Devahuti, along with 9 other sisters, he spoke to his mother about self-realization, by which in that very lifetime she became fully cleansed of mud of the material modes. So because by hearing the philosophy, then all the dirt from her heart cleaned, it's just like a mud. And she came out of the material modes. We have to transcend the modes of material nature. Thereby, one can achieve the liberation. That was the path of Lord Kapil Dev. Yeah, purport. Yes, I was reading the translation so far. Yeah, purport. I was reading the purport now. The instructions of Lord Kapil to his mother Devahuti are fully described in 3rd canto, chapters 25 to 32 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and anyone who follows the instructions can achieve the same liberation obtained by Devahuti. So one can obtain the same liberation as Mother Devahuti got. So the question is, we have to follow the instructions properly. So that's most important. We have to hear all instructions very seriously. So Prabhupada is writing here, Lord spoke Bhagavad Gita, and thereby Arjuna achieved self-realization. And even today, anyone who follows the path of Arjuna can also attain the same benefit as Sri Arjuna. So we also can, if we seriously read the Bhagavad Gita and follow all the instructions what Lord Krishna gave, then we definitely can get the same benefit as Arjuna got. So actually Arjuna was Nitya Siddha, and he went to a spiritual world with Krishna, So the scriptures are meant for this purpose. Foolish and unintelligent persons make their own interpretation by the imagination and thus mislead their followers. So there are many false gurus we can see, and they mislead the general public. So we should see actually what kind of instructions we are reading. And so we have to see sadhu, shastra, and Guru, all these things, and it should match. And we should see Guru also, that he is following his Guru and he is in Parampara. Anybody out of the sky, cannot be Guru, which we see, nowadays. So, and how much he is following, and if he is following all these Vedic scriptures or not. So we have to see different things before making somebody our Guru and following him. Because if we blindly follow him, then we will also go in the ditch with him, So this is the problem. Causing them to remain in dungeon of material existence. However, simply by following the instructions imparted by Lord Krishna or Lord Kapildev, one can obtain the highest benefit. So if we follow the instructions of Lord Krishna or Lord Kapildev, then definitely we can get all the benefits. So the word Atmagatim is significant in the sense of perfect knowledge of the Supreme. One should not be satisfied simply by knowing the qualitative equality of the Lord and the living beings. So we should not just see like qualitative things, we should see the quantitative also, because just qualitative, we are also spirit soul. So qualitatively we are also have the same qualities as Lord Krishna if you want to develop them. But quantitatively Krishna has those qualities in many millions and millions times more than us, So like a sea water, if you take one drop of sea water, and the whole body of the sea, it's very different. So one drop will have, like we are a drop of water, like that. One should know the Lord as much as can known by the limited knowledge, because we have very limited knowledge. We can never know the Lord in full, perfectly, because Lord has so many attributes, we cannot know all perfectly as he is. Even by such liberated persons as Lord Brahma and Shiva. So what to speak of other demigods or men in this world? So no man or no demigod can know. Even Brahma and Lord Shiva also cannot know him fully, because we know that Lord Shiva got bewildered, when Lord Vishnu came in the form of Mohini, and he was running behind her. So, and also we know Brahmaji also got bewildered that this cannot be Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he was playing with the little kids, and they were climbing on his back, and they were eating, Krishna was eating their food, from their tiffin. And so Krishna can bewilder anybody, including Lord Brahma and Shiva. So what to say anything about us, Still, by following the principles of great devotees and the instructions available in the scriptures, one can know to the considerable extent the features of the Lord. So we have to follow the instructions of the scriptures also, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Then we can have some more ideas about the Lord, but we will never know the Lord in full. The Lordship, his Lordship Kapila, the incarnation of Lord, instructed his mother fully about the personal form of the Lord, and thereby she realized the personal form of the Lord and was able to achieve place in the Vaikuntha Lok, where Lord Kapila predominates. So Lord Kapila actually taught his mother about the personal form of the Lord, and he gave the philosophy very detailed, and she understood the personal form of the Lord, and she served Lord, and ultimately she got liberated and went back to Kapil Lok, which is in one of the spiritual loks, spiritual planet. Every incarnation of the Lord has his own abode in the spiritual sky. Therefore, Lord Kapila also in his separate Vaikuntha planet. He has his separate Vaikuntha planet. The spiritual sky is not void. It's not like empty, There's so many different spiritual planets. There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets. And in each of them, Lord, by his innumerable expansions, predominates, and the pure devotee who are there also live in the same style as the Lord and his eternal associates. So the devotees if you are worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev, you can get the Nrsimhadev planet, or Lord Kapil Dev, you can go to Kapil Dev's planet. So there are so many planets, and Lord has so different innumerable expansions, and pure devotees who serve them, then in the same style as the Lord, they also, people live very abundantly there, We live just like Lord. We have 4 arms there in the Vaikuntha logs, and we have no anxiety there, no anxiety of any kind. Here every day, we worry about so many things, whole life goes in the worry, all the time. There is no worry at all. But still we are so unfortunate that we don't want to go, because we are so much attached and bound by the 3 modes of material nature. So we have to slowly give up and transcend us from the 3 modes, come to the sat the mode of goodness. And after goodness, we have to elevate ourselves to the pure sat, pure goodness. And from pure goodness, then we can do more and more sadhana, and then we can ultimately get liberation. But till we are under the influence of the modes of material nature, and till that time, so at least we should have all mode of goodness, at least mode of goodness to start with. And then we have to go to Shuddha Sattva. And from there, we can go. But if we are still having all the bad habits and everything, and still worry about different things, in this material world, then we have to start sooner than later and try to reach. So when the Lord descends personally, or his personal planetary expansions, such incarnations are called Amsh, Kala, Guna, Yuga, Manvantar incarnations. And when the Lord's associate descend by the order of the Lord, such incarnations are called Shakti-Avesh Avatar. So Shakti-Avesh Avatar comes in the 2 forms. One is Sakshat Avatar, means Lord comes himself, a Shakti-Avesh Avatar sometime, and many times Lord sends somebody, like a human being, he gives him empowered them. Like Vyasdev, he was empowered as the literary incarnation of the Lord. So that way, Lord can make anybody. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made one of his devotee, and then he was behaving like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had all the powers of. So Krishna can give, like Parsuram also got the Avesh Avatar, and he can kill so many people. So this is the thing, so Sakshat Avatar and Avesh Avatar. But in all cases, all the incarnations are supported by the invaluable statement of authorized scriptures, and not by any imagination of the self-interested propagandist. So it's not a propaganda, it's Krishna's, all these incarnations are real incarnations, it's not something false somebody said. Because many people say, I'm also avatar, right? Many gurus say, I'm avatar of this and I'm avatar of this, So, but we have to see that they are in fact avatar or not, because all the incarnations are written in the scriptures. So we have to see the scriptural evidence that they are written there. Then only we can consider that. Such incarnation of the Lord in either of the above category. So there are so many categories of different incarnations of the Lord. So I will just go through the different categories of the Lord, and then we'll go from there. So Lord takes incarnation as Purush Avatar, then Leela Avatars, Guna Avatar, Manvanant Avatar, Yuga Avatar, and Shakti-Avesh Avatar. So these are the 6 kind of different incarnations, Lord. It's a categories, So Purusha Avatars, so Krishna comes to manage this material world. He comes in the 3 Purusha Avatars. So Purusha Karnodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and Kshirodakshai Vishnu. So these 3 Vishnus are the Purusha avatars of the Lord. So Kshirodaksha Vishnu actually comes from the Lord himself. No, Karnodaksha Vishnu. And he is also known as Mahavishnu. So he lies down in the casual ocean. Karnodaksha Vishnu. Second one is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, which comes in the Garbhodak ocean, and also known as universal ocean. So, and he's lying down in the universal ocean. So Karnodaksha Vishnu, we know that when he breathes, all the planets goes in his belly, and like when at the end of the Brahmaji's one day, which is the 1,000 yoga cycles, and after that, in the night time, we all live in the belly of of Karnodaksha Vishnu, and when when Brahma, another Brahma comes, then then he exhales, and when he exhales, all the universes comes out of his pores of the skin, and they are floating in the Karnodaksha Garbhodak ocean, in the casual ocean or Karnodak ocean. So, and then the universe goes in different places, and the Brahma comes from the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Brahmaji comes, and then he gives the like so many jiva souls and everything, by Brahmaji. So that is the way it goes. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the Vishnu of particular universe, and then comes from Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes the Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Kshirodaksha Vishnu is the Vishnu of all the jiva souls. He lives in our heart in the form of Paramatma, and also in each atom, in the chair and everything, in each atom, and even in between the atom. Kshirodaksha Vishnu is there, and Kshirodaksha Vishnu lies in the milk of motion. So second kind of avatar is the Leela avatar. So Leela avatars are innumerable, and some because they are like waves. So I will just mention only few because there are so many. Kumara avatar, Vara avatar, 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanat, Sunandan, and Sanatan. Then Vara avatar, Narada also is avatar, Yagna avatar, Matsya avatar, Narayana avatar, and Dattatreya, and Prashnigarbha. Prashnigarbha came in front of Dhruva Maharaj when Dhruva Maharaj was doing all the severe austerities, tapasya. Then he came and he touched his head with the conch shell. So Dhruva avatar is Prashnigarbha came in front of him, so that was Vishnu's avatar. Mohini avatar, Dharvantari avatar. So there are so many. And then third avatar is Guna avatar. So Lord Vishnu comes in different avatars, one for maintenance of this world, one is creation, and one is for destruction. So this all done by so Sattva Guna is also called the mode of goodness. Rasik, is the mode of passion. Tamo Guna is the mode of ignorance. So the Lord of the maintenance is Lord Vishnu. Brahma is for creation, and Shiva is for destructions. So in Brahma's day, then fourth kind of incarnation is Manvantara avatar. So Manvantara avatar, Lord takes, in the Brahma's day, there are 14 Manvantars. So Brahma lives how many yoga cycles? 1,000 yoga cycles. So each Manvantar is about 72, little less than 72 yoga cycles. So one Manu comes, in Manu, the first Manu was Swayambhu Manu. So Swayambhu Manu that's why all the Manav all came. That's why we are called Manushya. We are called Manushya because we came from Manu. So that's why we are. And each Manvantar, he is in charge of that Manvantar. So 14 after 14 Manvantar, then another Manu will come. This planet will go away, goes to the belly. So 14 Manus are Swayambhu Manu, so Roshis Manu, Uttama, Tamas, Revat, Chakshus, Vevasva. This is the 7th. We are in the 7th Manvantar now. which is Vevasvat Manu, Manvantar, and Vevasvat Manu is he is the son of sun god, Surya Narayan. Then there is Sarvani, Daksha Sarvani, Brahma Sarvani, Dharma Sarvani, Rudra Sarvani, Deva Sarvani, and Indra Sarvani. So these are the 14 different Manus. Then there is Yuga Avatar. Yuga Avatar, there are 4 yugas. Each yuga, Lord comes. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yuge Yuge. He comes in every yuga. Then he comes in different colors, in different yugas actually. So he comes sometime in white color, red color, yellow color, and the black color. So these 4 different colors comes. In Satyuga, he comes as Kardamuni, and that's white avatar. Then in Treta Yuga, he appears in the red form, red color. And I do not know which is the red color, probably Vara avatar, maybe. And but Vara avatar was first avatar, so it should be in the beginning of the Satya Yuga, but I do not know who is the red incarnation. Third incarnation is Krishna's incarnation, which is the blackish or bluish. And fourth incarnation is the Kali Yuga avatar, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's avatar, who took birth, the son of Sati Mata. And he started Nam Sankirtan and process of self-realization. So he's in that last avatar is the Satyaves avatar, incarnations, last incarnations. So they are the empowered incarnations. And Lord can have many power, these empowered incarnations. There is no limit to it, So he can give that power to anybody. Sometimes he comes himself, and when he comes himself, known as Sakshat Avatar, Lord comes himself. But most of the time, he sends somebody. And so that avatar known as Avesh Avatar. Somebody can get Avesh and all the powers of the Lord, but he is not the Supreme Lord himself, He just, Avesh comes only for limited time and goes away again. It's not all the time he will have that. So we can have the 4 Kumaras, they were empowered with the knowledge. And Narad Muni empowered with the devotional service. That's what he goes all different words, and teaches the devotional service. And Brahma is empowered with the creative energy, so all the jiva souls are created by him. And Prathu, empowered with power to maintain the living. Prathu was also a incarnation of the Lord. Parashurama empowered to kill the evil element, and Ved Vyas to compile the Vedas. So, and there are so many other Avesh avatars described in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, and Srimad Bhagavatam also. So let us go more further. The living entities by their very constitution are spiritually as good as the Lord, and are the only difference between them and that of the Lord is always supreme and pure, without contamination by the modes of material nature, whereas the living entity are apt to be contaminated by association with the material modes of the goodness, passion, and ignorance. So qualitatively, we may be same as the Lord, but when we come in this material world, we got contaminated by these 3 modes of material nature. When we are in the womb of the mother, we cry and tell that, Lord, I'm very sorry that I have to take birth in material world, but I will actually do my devotional service. I will pray all the time to you. We make so many promises, but as soon as we take first birth in this material world, just by one breath, we already are under the influence of material nature. All 3 modes, and the modes actually drive us crazy. And that's why somebody gets mad and anger and all these things comes because of these modes of tamagun. We get so angry all the time, cannot control our impulses, So this is all tamagun, We have to raise ourselves. Devotional service to the Lord is the ultimate issue. And therefore, those who are directly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord not only acquire the necessary knowledge in the spiritual science, but also attain detachment from material connection. and are thus promoted to the kingdom of the God by complete liberation, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 14:26. So actually, if we follow the spiritual science and take the knowledge necessary, so then we can slowly give up this attachment in this material world, and then we can get connected to Krishna, and then we can get promoted to the spiritual world. So Krishna is saying here, Mam Shayoga Vicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunan Samanityan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So we can get into stage of Brahma Bhuta. So, so in this chapter, actually, this is the answer to the third question Arjuna asked. Actually, Arjuna asked three questions. Arjuna asked that the person who can transcend the three modes of material nature, they are known as Gunatit. So those Gunatit persons, what are their symptoms? And then he asked, how is their behavior? And third thing, he asked, what is the process of this transcending the modes? So this verse 14:26, this is the process by which we can transcend. So the first question, Krishna gives answer to Arjuna. He says, the symptom of a Gunatit, how the Gunatit look from outside, what are the symptoms? He says that Gunatit does not have illumination, attachment, and delusion, and they are or present or long for them when they disappear. So even if he has everything, he doesn't show them. And also, he doesn't long for those kind of things also. So he doesn't want those kind of things, that somebody should actually praise me and things like that. He may be a great person, but he doesn't hate illumination, he doesn't hate them, or also he doesn't have any attachment or delusions or anything. And how he behaves, behavior is good. Actually, we should follow or acquire this kind of qualities. Then only we can be above the modes, three modes, so we should know what are they. Excuse me. So first thing is, we have to be udasin. Udasin means neutral and undisturbed by the reactions of modes. So we should be completely neutral to the modes of material nature. Wherever they drag, we should stay in our position. We should determine that. And knowing that the modes alone are active, we should know that modes are very active and they will drag us, So we should be prepared for that. Equal to happiness and distress. So we have to be not like little small thing comes and you start crying, why this happened to me, why this happened to me, And in happiness, we should really get too much cheerful and too much celebrating, in the mood of celebration, we should not do that. So then we can. And third thing is firmly situated in the self. So we should we should situated in ourselves, what is my goal, what I should do, rather than, worrying about all the what will happen to my wife or my kids or my parents or my house, worrying about all those things, we should be situated in the self. And we should be seeing the lump of earth, stone, gold, same. So even we get multi-million dollars, we should not get trapped to them, So we should see everything similar, lump of gold, a piece of stone, a piece of earth, similar, equal towards a dear and not dear. So that's very hard, because everybody has their dear ones and non-dear ones, Other people, we don't care too much, our own dear ones we care. But actually one should be equal to everyone. That's hard, but we have to learn. As a devotee, we should see every soul, every person as the soul. He is Ansha Paramatma. So we should see that way, not like hating some. Nowadays, we hate somebody. This guy is bad, this guy is good, he's my friend, he's not my friend, like that. So we should not distinguish like that. And we should study. We should be very steady in our position. We should be dhira. So the dhira's question was asked in second chapter by Arjuna also, what are his symptoms, and Krishna describes there. So we have to be steady in our nature, equal towards the praise and blame. Somebody is blaming us or praising us, we should be equal, not like, oh, he's praising me, so he's my good friend, and he's criticizing me, then he's bad guy, he's bad himself. That's what he's telling something about me like that. People think that way. So we have to have that, not that kind of thinking. Equal in honor and dishonor. He treats a friend and enemy alike and renounces all material activities. So our activity, actually, if it is spiritual activity, if it is for any activity we should do, we should think it is related to Krishna or not. If it is related to Krishna, that means it is spiritual activity. But if it is related to material things, then we should not do those activities. We should renounce all material activities and only do spiritual activities. Cooking can be spiritual, house can be spiritual, everything can be spiritualized actually, and for the Krishna actually can be done. So we should try to end this shloka, what Prabhupada is writing, Mamsavya Yoga Vicharena, one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in any circumstances. So we have to be doing that we should not fail in any circumstances. We should be fixed in devotional service, and we should perform only devotional service. And one who engages like that, at once he transcends the modes of material nature. So if we engage ourselves, just by engaging ourselves full time in only spiritual activity, not otherwise, then we can transcend the material nature and come to the level of Brahman. Now somebody may ask, I don't want to go to like a Brahman effulgence, or a Brahman realization. I want a devotional service. So from Brahman realization also, one can try to do the devotional service, and ultimately he can reach to the devotional platform. The impersonal concept of the Supreme Truth is just a process of negation of the form of the Lord. So people become impersonal, that Lord doesn't have any form. So that's a negation of the Lord's form actually. And people do that, mundane people do that. It's a mundane conception of the Supreme Truth. Supreme Truth is actually personal. The living entities, by their very constitution, are spiritually as good as the Lord. So we are as good as the Lord in the quality wise, but quantity wise we are not. And the only difference between them is that the Lord is always supreme and pure, without contamination by the modes of, I went again there. Even in the non-obligated state, a living entity can be directly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, or his plenary expansions like Ram and Narasimha. So Lord can come and take different kind of avatars, so, and we follow their instructions of those incarnations, and we can directly engage in the transcendental loving service of personality of Godhead. Thus, with the proportionate improvement of such transcendental devotional service, the devotee makes definite progress towards a Brahma Gatim or Atma Gatim. We get self-realized and ultimately attain the Kashyap, the Kapilashya Gatim, or the abode of the Lord Kapila, without any difficulty. This is very important statement by Srila Prabhupada. The antiseptic potency of devotional service to the Lord is so great that it can neutralize the material infection even in the present life of a devotee. So even in the present life, because devotional service has so much antiseptic property, it can kill all the bad things, So this antiseptic property, it can neutralize all the material infections what we get, and then a devotee does not need to wait for his next birth. We say, oh, this life, let me get purified, and next life I will do the bhakti, That will not happen. You have to start there again, So it's better to just try hard and hard and do the devotional service as much as we can, and ultimately we can reach to the spiritual planet. So I will end here. Anybody has any comments, questions, you can ask. Thank you very much for listening. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any?
I've never heard, this is the first time I've heard Srila Prabhupada stated in this way, antiseptic.
Yeah, that's why I was also very impressed, how he wrote that statement, Yeah.
But it makes a lot of sense,
Yeah. Right.
Infected girl.
Yeah, we are infected, and the devotional service has antiseptic property. So just like we clean better with the betadine, like that, it kills all the bugs, then we can heal, we can transcend them. So that's a very nice statement Prabhupada is writing.
Let's see if anybody online, if they have any questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranam.
Hare Krishna, anybody? Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So today's lecture was really nice, Prabhu. Everything you explained is very so much explanation was there about all the yogas, meditation. So Prabhu, even we are doing the 16 round and we are doing the service of the Lord. Still, I don't know why we have so much stress. Even if we do like 16 round of our chanting, I don't know. Even we are trying to do it like nicely and hearing when we are chanting. Still, I don't know. Especially myself, I don't know. I have like so much of stress. I cannot get out of it. Even I'm trying, but I don't know.
Yes, Mataji, because we all are under material modes, and modes are dragging us. That's why we are suffering. We have so much anxiety because this is not Vaikuntha Lok. Vaikuntha has no anxiety, but here in this material world, we all have so much anxiety every single day, and anxiety never goes away. One anxiety goes away, and 10 more comes at the same time. So this is the way it comes. So the best way to do the sadhana, our devotional service, like seriously, we have to take it more seriously, and slowly we can transcend these all three modes and get to the Suddha Sattva. But it's very easy to say, then do it, but we have to do it. We have no other choice, actually. We have to be serious in spiritual life. And as I told, all the characteristics of the Gunatit, the person who are above this mode. So we have to see that we slowly give up this attachment to this material world and get more attachment to the bhakti. Nobody can know from outside, how serious one is. We have to figure out ourselves. We have to think ourselves every month or so and see that if I'm progressing in my bhakti or not. So the best way to judge that is to see if our attachment to the material things are increasing or decreasing. If it is increasing, that means our bhakti is not increasing. If the bhakti is increasing, attachment is getting down, then we know that yes, I'm progressing, and the progress should be steady, not like sometime going up and sometime going down, again in material world and again with the material things and again with the bhakti. It should not bump around like that. It should steadily go up and up. So we have to be serious, then only it can do. It's very hard to do in this material world, but we have to really try, and we have to seek the mercy of our guru, acharyas, and then our spiritual master and acharyas and Lord Krishna pray, because without mercy, we cannot do bhakti. Doesn't come automatically like that, by our try only. We have to get blessings. Only by blessings we can elevate, actually, and we are not getting enough blessings. We have to see how we can get that blessings from, and by their blessings only we can elevate in our bhakti.
Yes, Prabhu, everything is so nice, but when we have like kids and all, even though you are trying to listen, you are trying to do so many things, but you cannot do it. That's like, I don't know, giving actually what to do. Like, we can, like, we can do it right now, or we can stop right now. I don't understand sometimes those things, because of the kids. Some, sometimes even we have to, like, if you like trying to do some, nicely, everything you want to do nicely, but you cannot. That also giving us stress. I don't know what to do about that.
Yes,
They are like
Mataji.
pulling us
That's also devotional
down.
service, because if you make the kids Krishna conscious, that's the greatest service actually. It's a more, Prabhupada said, it's a more better service than even deity worship, taking care of the kids and making them good devotee, that's what we have to see, that they become good devotees. If they are not good devotees, then our whole sadhana is not good, that we raise them and now he's watching movies and he's going with this one and with this one and like that, so if the kids are not behaving properly, then it's not good for us, we have to make them devotee. Krishna actually gave us our children for that purpose, that we make them devotee, and then our sadhana will be good. Krishna will be happy with us. But if we do the same thing, chanting and other things, not, because many times, every day we chant actually, but many times it looks like it goes just want to finish the chanting, that should not be our mode, Our mood should be that I have to chant whole day almost, and whenever I get time, but 16 minimum, but after that also we can continue, and we should not think that somehow or the other, let me finish. So it's not finished. Krishna, we cannot just finish Krishna, remembering Krishna, we have to remember him all the time. Any activity, cooking, cleaning, everything, in the household duties also, we should just keep thinking about Krishna, meditate on him, or listen the lectures or something, So that way our bhakti can be continuous and thinking about Krishna continuous, then it will be much better for all of us. So I hope, Mataji, I help you up to some extent, but yeah, we have to try hard and hard for that.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, let us end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.